Hello everyone, and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be predicting the League One table in the 2020-2021 League One season. Of course, yesterday I did my prediction of the League Two table, all the way down from 24 to number 1. But yeah, today I'm going to go over the League One table, and this League One season shapes up to be very interesting indeed. All three clubs that relegate from the Championship are looking in dire straits right now. There's some sleeping giants such as Sunderland, Portsmouth and Ipswich Town. And relegation from League 1 to League 2 is going to be interesting as well this season. But I'll crack straight on with it anyway. Number 24, Rochdale. Yeah, I feel kind of bad saying this, but right now, things aren't looking too good for Rochdale. Their summer business hasn't really been anything to shout about. Of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic as well, it seems to have affected Rochdale quite badly. Rochdale didn't do too badly last season, finishing 18th. It was a pretty average season where they comfortably survived relegation. This time round, though, I'm saying no such luck for Rochdale. I think they'll finish rock bottom and be relegated to League 2. Sorry, Rochdale fans, that's just have to put someone bottom, and you are, unfortunately, the team. Number 23, AFC Wimbledon. Yeah, this one was also difficult to do. Wimbledon finished 20th last season, of course, this on points per game. It wasn't great there for Wimbledon last season, and I'm going to say this season's going to be no better either. I think they will get relegated, unfortunately, down to League 2. Yeah, I don't see a way out for Wimbledon this year. I do think just after surviving last year, they won't have as much luck this year, and they will be relegated. Number 22, Northampton Town. Yeah, Northampton Town are a lot of people's favourites right now to go down, of course. Northampton, of course, came up last season via the playoffs in League 2. I'm going to say Northampton will go straight back down, but as the final team, I think Northampton will put up a good fight, but I think they'll have too little in the end, and they will eventually fall to relegation from League 1. Yeah, unfortunately, Northampton, I just don't quite think you'll have enough. I think they'll put up a good fight, as I said, but I do think they will get relegated to League 2 again. The only team have had to go down straight away who came up this season. 21st, Shrewsbury Town. Yeah, Shrewsbury Town finished 15th last season, so this finish certainly won't be anything to shout about, but I don't think Shrewsbury Town are going to do too well. I mean, I'm from near Shrewsbury, I'm actually from Stafford, so not far at all. And again, like I said about Walsall yesterday, I'd like to see Shrewsbury do well, but unfortunately, I don't see that this season. I think they'll have a pretty poor season. I'm going to say 21st, and they'll just about survive after what's going to be a disappointing season, in my opinion. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got to rate someone quite low in Shrewsbury Town. I think they'll drop 6 places. 20th, Swindon Town. Yeah, Swindon Town fans can't get too carried away. Yes, they got promoted last season. Great success for them, of course, getting promoted up to League 1, but I think staying up in the first season League 1 will be a success, and I think that's what Swindon are going to do. I think a 20th place finish, they'll just about survive. I think home form might play a bit of a part as well. Yeah, I'm going to say Swindon will have enough, but I don't think it'll be a great season, but I think they will do enough, and they will stay in League 1. 19th, Accrington Stanley. Yeah, very similar to last season, really. Accrington Stanley really only ever really do this, do they? They only really ever finish around mid-table to relegation. I think this will be another similar season. I'm going to go for a 19th place finish after a 17th place last season. I don't think I'm expecting too much special from Accrington Stanley this year, so I'm going to say standard 19th place. They'll survive relegation quite comfortably, but nothing to shout about by any means. 18th, MK Dons. Yep, very similar to last season as well for MK Dons. They'll survive comfortably without doing anything too special. I think 18th sounds about right, really, for MK Dons. I think, without doing anything amazing, I think they'll comfortably stay up. And yeah, I think 18th, that sounds fair to me. 17th, Crewe Alexandra. Yeah, I'm going to go Crewe Alexandra because, I said Alexander first time, sorry, Alexandra I meant. Crewe Alexandra because I think they will stay up. They have just been promoted from League 2 as well. I think this is Crewe's first appearance in League 2, League 1, it's 2016, so I think they'll stay up, and I think they'll stay up quite comfortably, but I think they'll take this as well, Crewe fans. You can't really argue with survival. Don't think they'll do anything special, but I do think they will stay up. Yep, 17th position. It's going to be a pretty steady season for Crewe without the fans going too crazy about it, but they will remain in League 1 in my opinion. 16th, Gillingham. Yeah, Gillingham fans won't be too happy with this. Gillingham finished 10th last season actually, so when I say 16th, that must seem very underwhelming, and I can see why. I don't think Gillingham are going to do anything great this season. I see Gillingham having a pretty good start, but maybe fading away second half of the season, and in the end, 16th, that doesn't really sound too great at all after Gillingham fans will be hoping to push for the playoffs, but Yeah, I'm going to say 16th in a disappointing season, unfortunately, Gillingham. I have to say someone's going to have a disappointing season. And I'm going to pick Gillingham, who will finish 16th and have an underwhelming League One season. 15th, Charlton Athletic. Yeah, Charlton fans won't be too happy. Charlton only just got relegated from Championship last season on the last day. So how can they finish so low in League One? I just don't see this going well for Charlton this season. They're in big trouble right now. Every team that got relegated from the Championship last season is in dire straits, but I'm going to say Charlton are in big trouble as well. Maybe not quite as much trouble as Wigan, but I have ranked Charlton lower than Wigan. I don't see Lee Bowyer lasting too long this season. I think Lee Bowyer will probably be gone by Christmas, and Charlton will just slump to a miserable 15th place finish. Not relegation, but certainly not a season to shout about. I just don't see this being a good season for Charlton, unfortunately. And I think a 15th place finish. I had Charlton to be my dark horse in the Championship last season, so a lot's changed in just over a year. But I'm going to say 15th in League One this season. A poor season for Charlton. Sorry, Charlton fans. 14th, Burton Albion. To be fair, Burton Albion have really punched above their weight in recent years. Let's be honest, they've done very well. A couple of seasons in the Championship, a couple of mid-table seasons in League One. Burton Albion have done very well in the last few years, and it's a story that deserves to be talked about a little bit more. Now they're kind of in that period, but I do think they'll keep finishing mid-table in League One for a while. This season I'm expecting no different. I'm going to say 14th for Burton, and I think that's about a fair finish for them, really. Of course, it was 12th last season, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to say 14th, a pretty average season for them. Yeah, Burton Albion, mid-table finish. 13th, Plymouth Argyle. Yeah, Plymouth Argyle, I think they'll have a solid season this time round. I think they'll back in League One, of course. I'm going to say they're going to finish 13th, mid-table, without doing anything special. I think they'll have a solid mid-table season where they do pretty well. That's my prediction on Plymouth. I think they won't do anything amazing, but they'll do well enough, get a few good results here and there, and yeah, they'll finish 13th. I think that sounds about fair. 12th, Wigan Athletic. Yeah, as I said about Wigan earlier, in big trouble right now. I do still think Wigan, they've got a good record in League One. They've got a good know-how in this division. For me, they'll be nowhere near relegation. They'll have too many good results for that. But I don't see them having a good season, though. I do think 12th, nowhere near the playoffs, but nowhere near relegation. Just slap bang in mid-table. Yeah, I think that sounds about right for Wigan, even if they are in a little bit of trouble right now. I think mid-table in League One sounds about as good as they're going to get this season. 11th, Blackpool. Yep, sorry Blackpool fans, this is going to anger you. A lot of people are tipping Blackpool to do quite well this season. I still don't think Blackpool will do great though. I think 11th, and I think they'll disappoint in the end. I think they can have a good start, but overall, I can just see them fade, just not doing enough, and just end up fading away at the end of the season. So a pretty dull 11th place finish. Yeah, a lot of people will be expecting better from this from Blackpool, but I'm just gonna say they've got to be the team who disappoints. I'm gonna say 11th. Yeah, that sounds very underwhelming. I'm so sorry, Blackpool fans. Number 10, Oxford United. Again, this is controversial because Oxford were in the playoff final just a couple of months ago, but I think that playoff final heartache is going to get to Oxford. They had their chance to go up to the Championship. I think that heartache's going to catch up with Oxford, and I think they'll have a disappointing season. I'm going to say 10th. I mean, this is pretty much a lottery, me choosing all this, but yeah, I just don't think Oxford are going to do as well this season. I think they'll have a little push for playoffs, but again, I can see it fading a bit at the end, and a 10th place finish. Sounds very disappointing if you're an Oxford fan, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to say 10th. That sounds very disappointing, but I think the heartbreak will catch up with them, and it'll be disappointing. 9th, Lincoln City. Yeah, I'm going to have Lincoln City to be my surprise package of the season. I mean, they did a successful first season in League One last season, staying up as well. I'm going to say Lincoln will have a good season and finish 9th. I think that's a fair assessment, really, of Lincoln. I think they're not a bad side by any means, and I can see them being a surprise package this season and getting not quite playoffs, but a 9th place finish. Something they'll take. Of course, they'll want to push for playoffs as a surprise package, but I don't think they'll do enough in the end. And yeah, I'm going to say 9th. I think they will be the team who do better than what people expect. 8th, Bristol Rovers. Again, I think they'll do a lot better than last season, Bristol Rovers. I can see them having a fairly solid season, making a good push for playoffs, but falling short in the end. I think that wouldn't be a bad bit of progress for Bristol Rovers, personally. Yeah, I'm going to say 8th. Not quite the playoffs, but not a bad season either, especially compared to last season. 7th, Doncaster Rovers. Yeah, I'm going to say Doncaster won't quite make the playoffs, but I think they'll come close. Doncaster weren't too far away last season. Of course, again, it did come down to points per game. But yeah, I'm going to say Doncaster will be unlucky to miss out on the playoffs, but just miss out on it in the end. 7th place, not a bad season, but yeah, just fall short of them playoff places. 6th place, Hull City. Yeah, Hull City may be in trouble right now, but I do still think, looking at Hull's team, they've just got just about enough to still push on in this league. And I think Hull will nick the final playoff spot after what was a disappointing season. I think they'll nick that playoff spot, but I don't think they'll win the playoffs. I think they'll get it, but I think they'll be beaten. In the playoff, I'm going to say the playoff final. I think Hull City will get to the playoff final, and they'll lose to 5th place, Portsmouth. Yeah, Portsmouth, for me, their time to come back into the second tier is coming soon. They've suffered semi-final heartache in the playoffs, League One in the last couple of years. I think this year is Portsmouth times to win the playoffs. I think they'll get to the playoffs and they'll win it. That's what I'm going to say. I want Portsmouth to come up. As a person who grew up in the fan as a Premier League, in that time Portsmouth were a good team and they won the FA Cup. I'd like to see Portsmouth return at least to the Championship. That will be a good story. And I think this year is the year they finally do it. After 2 disappointing seasons of playoff semi-final defeats, they'll finally do it this season. Let's hope. 4th place, Fleetwood Town. Yep, just like last season, I'm having Fleetwood Town to get into the playoffs, but I don't think they'll win it. Again, Fleetwood Town, done alright the last couple of seasons, but no, well, last season especially. I don't think this season, though, is going to quite be the time. Playoff semi-finalists, but they'll lose to Portsmouth in the playoff semi-final, in my opinion. 3rd, Peterborough. Yep, Peterborough, I'm going to say, going to be 3rd. A lot of people pushing Peterborough to do well this season, understandably so. I just think they'll fall short, and I think they'll lose to Hull City in the playoff semi-final, mainly because of Hull City's experience. I'm going to say the experience of Hull in these sort of situations will get them through. Of course, Hull City have been above League One for quite a while now, so I'm going to say they'll do enough. And Peterborough will have a good season, but fall short of automatic promotion, ultimately leading to them finishing in 3rd place and not gaining promotion to the Championship. 2nd, Ipswich Town. Yeah, I'm going to be very bold in my Ipswich Town prediction. I'm going to say Ipswich will be promoted, and I also think they'll just about do it. I think that there'll be a fight between them and Peterborough for 2nd spot. I think Paul Lambert will get sacked mid-season. They'll get in a new manager, a new fresh manager, and he'll bring them up to the Championship, back up to the Championship once again. Sounds very bold and very silly, to be honest with you. But yeah, and I'll probably get that horribly wrong, let's be honest. But let's just wait and see. That's what I think is going to happen. I think, they'll get a new manager and he'll give them fresh ideas. And Ipswich Town, who were up there most of the last season, but ended up finishing 11th somehow in the points per game rule. But yeah, I'm going to say that Ipswich Town will be back in the Championship. And number 1, Sunderland. Yeah, it's Sunderland's time now to come back up to the Championship. Sunderland have now had 2 seasons in League One. First season, a heartbreaking playoff final defeat to Charlton Athletic. And last season, a disappointing campaign. But if the campaign did not go down to points per game, we could have seen it better and they could have been promoted. But they ended up finishing 8th, dropping a place on the points per game system. This time is Sunderland's time. The manager is getting the best out of these players now. He had a struggling start, Phil Parkinson, but things are starting to improve at Sunderland, and I think this season is the time where they will. Yeah, I'm going to say they will be the champions of League One and come up to the Championship. So yeah, that is my prediction for the League One table. It's probably going to be horribly wrong. Feel free to roast me in the comments, as most people did with my League 2 table yesterday. I don't blame them. That was terrible, probably. But yeah, let's just wait and see. But yeah, I'm going to say this is my League 1 table, and thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'll take a look back on this at the end of the season, which is I'm going to say, if I get more than 5 right, I'll be very happy with that. But yeah, I'm going to say, this is my League 1 table. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, subscribe, as I said. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.